Welcome back to Channel 4 News. My name is Robert Simmons, and on tonight's broadcast, we discuss the potential changes done to roll your own cigarettes. Now we go live to Melissa Harkins, who can tell us more. What can you tell us about these new potential changes done to roll your own cigarettes, Melissa? Could you possibly give us more of an insight into what's going on?
Thank you, Rob. Well, according to the smell report, perception of a smell consists not only of the sensation of the odours themselves, but the experiences and emotion associated with these sensations. Therefore, Quit Victoria and the government have the new idea to make the packaging of roll your own cigarettes highly undesirable. The packaging of the pouch will now have a horrendous smell, almost similar to the odour of fish and rotten eggs. Back to you.
So how effective will this new packaging be? I mean, I'm sure people won't take lightly to this quite significant change.
We interviewed an everyday smoker to find out. Steve is a 40-year-old male. He is single and is currently living a luxurious lifestyle with a highly stressful work environment. As a stockbroker, he values financial stability and relaxing after a stressful day at work. Steve travels quite a lot interstate. Steve needs to smoke rolled cigarettes to reduce stress, relax and unwind. Steve wants to remain in his luxurious lifestyle. The only reason Steve smokes roll your own cigarettes is because of his highly stressful life. He believes this is the only thing that can successfully and effortlessly relieve his stress through the practice of crafting and consuming his Rio cigarettes.
So Steve, how do you purchase roll your own cigarettes?
Well, I purchase them just by going down to my local store, Coles or Woolies, usually when I'm buying groceries or if I'm really stressed from a shocking day at work. It just helps reduce stress.
Are you open to talk about your smoking habit, or would you prefer to keep that private?
Well, not really. Like if I'm asked about it, I'll talk about it, but it's not something I'm necessarily proud of. It's not a nice habit.
So Steve, where are your common spots for smoking? Is there a particular area that you like to light up in?
I don't really have a distinct place in which I smoke. It can be at work, like outside my office, but I notice there's not many people at my work who do smoke, so I feel judged by them. I feel like I'm avoided by them when I smell of cigarettes.
Thank you, Steve. Back to you, Rob.
Thank you, Melissa. So I understand you've also conducted a survey on a particular demographic. Could you possibly tell us more about that and how it compares to Steve's answers?
Yes. Well, we asked several smokers who use roll your own cigarettes a series of questions, those being aged between 30 and 65 years of age. When do you smoke the most? 63% of people said they smoke most in the morning, 12% in the evening, 10% in the afternoon, 8% at night, 4% early in the morning, and the remaining 3% didn't have a specific time. Steve, however, stated that he smokes usually in the morning.
Thank you once again, Melissa. We now have a few words from Steve. So Steve, what do you think about the new changes to these roll your own cigarettes? How effective do you think they'll be for you?
What do I think about the changes to roll your own cigarettes? Well, I think it's a great idea. Trying to get people to stop smoke does cost the economy a lot, and it's not a good habit. I think it's a good thing to implement on roll your own cigarettes. Like, I would personally look for substitutes because I obviously won't like the idea of the smell. I'm accustomed to the current smell, and I probably end up going for the packaged cigarettes, although more expensive. I feel I have that need to smoke when I'm stressed. What I would recommend is probably if they had it on all tobacco instead of just roll your own cigarettes. Therefore, if someone's looking for an alternative, the fishy egg smell is in all the alternative tobacco products, so people will be more inclined to quit and use cigarette patches to get that quick nicotine fix instead of going for a smelly smoke that they're not used to.
Thank you once again, Stephen. And now we have Professor Harold Richards on the line to give us a better understanding about these changes and how it can affect smokers. Hello, and thank you for having me. Basically, we use operant conditioning as the base for the idea, specifically a negative punishment to help remove the behaviour. The behaviour being smoking roll your own cigarettes. The undesirable smell becomes the punishment for whenever a smoker lights up a cigarette. Nobody wants to smell of fish guts or rotten eggs, and so the smoker unconsciously creates a link between smoking and them smelling bad. So it actually goes a little like this. The smoker lights up a cigarette. People around him and the smoker themselves smell the disgusting odor of fish guts or some kind of undesirable smell. Then the smoker creates an association between smoking and them smelling bad. It becomes quite obvious that they smell bad through other people's behavior around them. Then, whenever they believe they want to smoke, they will unconsciously remember that they will smell extremely bad, and that will be the overall punishment. So yeah, that about sums it up from me. Thank you for having me.